That was a good intro.
Well, we got a new addition. Joe, what is going on? He finally made it out the house. You know what I'm saying? He washed the dishes and was able
Put
to
the
leave.
groceries away.
How you doing, Joe? Nice to see you again, man.
I'm good. Nice to see you guys too.
Why are you so nervous?
Yeah.
I'm a nervous guy. You know, it's a lot going on right now.
And it's starting to get a little warm in here too.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm cooling. I'm straight. It's kind of nice doing it like at night. You hear the crickets chirping.
Right.
It's like relaxing. Anyways, we got quite a bit of news to get into, but we're gonna start it off with an off the top like we do every show. And Joe, hit us with an off the top.
I would just like to say my off top is a thank you guys. Thank you to both of you guys for letting me breathe heavily in the microphone.
They can't see a microphone. But he's got a mic.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm breathing in it. And thanks for letting me come down here and take some hot takes, say some stupid stuff, and maybe piss off the internet a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it up.
So you know how the NBA once wore "I can't breathe"? Well, he's got the shirt that "I can breathe."
Heavily.
Oh yeah. So dot. Heavily.
Smurf, you got an off the top?
Yeah, I go after you.
I don't have. I'm saving mine for the end. So y'all be ready for the end.
So you got an off the bottom?
Off the bottom or rip the bottom. I gotta rip the bottom.
No, we want to hear it.
Y'all wild.
I want to hear it. Oh, is it about the lightsaber?
You put me on the spot. You know what I'm saying? So piggybacking off of last week's off the top, we saw a comment. Some people liked it. So I am here to speak for everybody, I guess. I'm like the new spokesperson.
You could certainly speak for me, pal.
But ladies, if y'all got a man or y'all got a spouse or a fiance, sometimes the lightsaber wants to get wet. You know what I mean? It wants to get wet.
Star Wars.
And it doesn't always, it sometimes it needs help. It needs help. Maybe it's not at full charge. Yeah, it's not at full charge. Sometimes you gotta wiggle it a little bit, wiggle the charger a little bit and get it rising. You know what I'm saying? So it could fight for you. Okay. Now that's why I wanted to go off the bottom. I wanted to.
No, I like this. I like where you're going.
Even a little flick here and there, it would be helpful.
Why would you flick a lightsaber?
You gotta flick it on.
You gotta see if it turns on, and but the thing is y'all gotta protect your lightsaber, okay? And in order to do that, you have to be willing to keep it up to date. Sometimes it needs downloaded new software. Sometimes, and you got to maintenance it. You have to maintenance it but it has to be second nature to you, ladies. Like it has to be something that you want to do. The lightsaber at times doesn't want to just turn on instantly. And with a little bit of help, a little bit of care, and just feeling it around a little bit, it's going to spark at 110%. I'm just letting y'all know now. So for you to expect, I guess, the man in the relationship to run the 100-yard dash every single time, at some point it's going to get a little exhaustion. You know what I mean?
Joe's a bit confused.
I think we watched different Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. We definitely watch different Star Wars,
So
bro.
like a deleted scene.
And speaking of Star Wars, I was watching, shout out to Flagrant 2. They just had Mateo Lane on, and he's a gay comedian. And he was talking about, he really made me, I don't want to like butcher his joke, but he has this joke about C-3PO being gay. And it is hilarious, man. If y'all haven't checked it out, I'm not gonna like say his joke or anything like that, but y'all check it out. He had a joke of, so he says, yeah, like in the first Star Wars, C-3PO, they're like, how is C-3PO gay? He's like, well, in the first Star Wars, he was very subtle about it. He was like, oh my. And by like the Jedi, that's when he was like, dear Lord. And he's like, yeah, he's gay. He's gay. He's got to be gay. And he said R2-D2 was a lesbian. Because everybody needed her. She fixed it. Everybody needed her. She fixed everything, and she had a tool belt. Hey, you guys got to check it out. I'm telling you, I don't want to butcher that joke. But make sure y'all maintenance your lightsabers. And men as well, you got to make sure that, what's a funny reference, keeping it PG. Sometimes men, we have to, it works both ways. And there's no way to say it. And I'm not talking about full on,
Fast charge.
yeah, I'm not talking about fast charge. I ain't talking about the 30-watt adapter. You know what I mean?
You just need the little 5
Yeah,
watt.
a little 5-watt. Let it take its time. Build up the time, and enjoy it. And enjoy
Maybe
it.
a little wireless.
Yeah, you
little
know,
wireless charger.
so, a little wireless and maybe a little pad. You know, put it on a pad at points. But man, y'all got to make sure that you lick the icing off the donut hole. You know, right in the middle. At times too. Okay, you got to do it for your ladies if we expect this as men in return. So, little TSR etiquette for y'all.
Okay. TSR lightsaber etiquette.
Lightsaber
Now, does this lightsaber does it come in
Different sizes? Yes, definitely.
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that.
You know, you got to start from the bottom.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say, does it come in different charging aspects? Does it? Can it only get up to a fast charge? Or is it,
Every lightsaber has different directions to it. You know, there's different instructions on how to control a certain lightsaber because it is meant for a certain Jedi. You know, and some like the fast charge. You know, but some.
Now, what if this lightsaber, the battery on it doesn't last that long?
Well, shit. Time to get a new one. It's time to get a new one. And I've been at points where my lightsaber hasn't charged fully and it wasted battery pretty damn quick. But that's where the maintenance comes in. You know, we put so much pressure on the Jedi to perform and protect the village, right? But sometimes you need a partner in crime to help you with that.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Well,
I mean,
That-
can I just say real quick, like
Yeah.
the inner nerd in me is like dying here, because
Oh yeah, no, this isn't politically correct for Comic-Con. Definitely not.
like-
what do you
Lightsabers-
mean? We're just talking about lightsabers.
You got different grips. You got the one hand grip. You got the two hand grip. The two hand with the
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta spit on it if it's not charging. Sometimes you gotta,
Hey.
like get a little wet, get a little feel. You know.
Some lightsabers are growers, not showers. You know what I'm saying, fellas?
What's your off the top?
All right. So my off the top is a little bit more lightsaber related. Okay. So let me start out by saying this. Congratulations to the Greek brick, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I've always called a fraud.
Right.
To me, he's still a fraud, but with an asterisk. What separates him is he played to his strengths.
He knew who he was.
Yes. I know I can't shoot. So congratulations to the Greek brick. But to Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I do not want to hear he's the best player in the world.
No,
There's
no.
a lot of conversation between he's the best player in the world. He is an exceptional defender. He had a great series defensively.
Yeah.
Nobody, and I blame this on the Suns too a little bit. Simply for the fact that you got to build the wall. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the first fraud to win a title, excuse me,
I mean,
since
question.
Miami Heat LeBron James.
Right. So, but also in that series, like you said, I mean, he played to his strengths. He knew who he was, and he provided.
And he shot his free throws, made his free throws.
Yeah, and he literally he wanted it more out of anybody there. It was between him and Devin Book. I mean, they still performed at a very high level, but Giannis, provided more for his team, and when they needed him most to be Giannis.
Well, think about that. You just said him and Devin Booker. Who had the most help? Giannis.
Yeah, definitely.
I know. Everybody wants to crown Giannis when he loses and when he wins, or dog him when he loses and crown him when he wins. Keep it there. At the end of the day, look, my hat's off to Giannis. I guess there's more frauds that are going to come by. I don't think they'll ever win the championship. Russell Westbrook, Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton. I don't think you can win a championship with them as your best players. I said this about Giannis.
But he proved you wrong.
And he proved me wrong. But there's an asterisk to it, because I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear is he was the best player in that series. He's not there. Kevin Durant's feet is a couple inches behind the line. I know that. Let me finish.
Okay.
He's not there. And also, Phoenix wasn't ready. Phoenix didn't belong there. If you had what I mean by that is, so if we relate it to the NFL, say some random team made the Bills make the Super Bowl, right? Like, oh shit, it's the Bills. As compared to like a team who's regularly there that knows, I've been there. I know what to do. I know how to game plan. I know what time it is. And then they face an opponent who's experienced in the playoffs.
Well, that's a little pushback though on the NFL side.
What do you mean?
Because it was the Giants beating the undefeated Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they were a wild card and caught steam throughout the playoffs.
But what is the difference there? Tom Coughlin, Eli Manning. They had a veteran.
That was his first.
They had a veteran team there. What I'm saying is the Suns were the new team on the block.
Right.
They didn't know what time it was. Remember when the Jaguars, who'd they lose to?
Oh, in the playoffs?
Yeah,
they the AFC Championship.
They lost to the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those things where
and that was
the
proven
Patriots
that they shouldn't have been there.
The Patriots went to beat the Rams, right?
I think that was the Atlanta. No, that was the Eagles. They lost to the Eagles that year.
They lost to the Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay, they lost to the Eagles.
There go my ego.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where Phoenix had no answer as a team,
right?
Individually and as a team,
yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say for the Greek brick, the Greek freak.
Right.
I bet you if a perennial team that knows how to compete at that stage, like the Lakers were there, they're not losing. Rockets in their heyday, Warriors in their heyday, they're not losing. Like the Utah Jazz, even the Clippers.
Okay.
Maybe with Kawhi, because Kawhi has that experience. But like I said, I blame, I shouldn't blame. Phoenix has a lot to do with that. Phoenix and Chris Paul getting COVID and not playing up to whatever his potential was. Because remember, he got COVID, came back and dropped like 40 on the Clippers, and then regressed.
Well, and I think it was kind of hard to say because, like, you think about it, it's like you're talking about two teams that really shouldn't have been there. Mm-hmm. Like in your logic, right?
But the Bucks have experience there, not in the finals, but experience
of
in the playoffs. In the playoffs,
been taking that step.
All right.
And
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's Giannis consistently faced this wall, and now they just guarded him 1-on-1.
Right, like, and I think that's what you're saying is like the Bucks had someone in there that wanted it the most. Not wanted it the most, but how you said, has just experienced the wall, and he's like, he just got tired of hitting that wall, and he's like, now I'm here, I'm in the park, but I still got to get to the other side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like in the NFL, how many times do you see a team out of nowhere win a championship?
The Eagles. Especially
but they're not out of nowhere. They've made the playoffs years before. They have experience in the playoffs.
Oh, you're talking. I'm talking about
like the Browns go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl last year. Like you don't see that.
Yeah.
You don't see that. Yeah.
So kind of like what the Suns did is what the Browns did against the Chiefs, where they had them down and out. The Suns were up 2-0, right? And then suddenly they just couldn't close. It's kind of what the Browns did against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship last year, where they had them beat until like 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. Mahomes goes down. They put their backup QB in there. He throws a pick. They can't score to put the nail in the coffin. That QB ends up on fourth down doing an Andy Reid special, which you actually called. You actually predicted that. Does an Andy Reid special, they win the game. Browns choked it. It's kind of like, that sounds like what the Suns did. They had them down because they were up 2-0, and they just couldn't.
Milwaukee adjusted.
They didn't. The Suns didn't.
And Suns didn't.
That was the big
and that's
knock
what I'm
on
saying.
Milwaukee, though. Remember, like, during those playoffs was
when he hit
the big knock on Milwaukee's coach was like, damn, he don't make adjustments. Like, he don't make adjustments. And in that, and I think that's kind of what Phoenix was feeling when they went up and they won those 2 games. They're like, they ain't gonna. This is what they're gonna do. This is who they are. And Milwaukee threw a curveball and was like, no, okay, now we're gonna adjust. Mm-hmm. And the adjust came.
This was my tweet on the 9th. I said, what does that say?
Bucks got to go small. Play Giannis at the 5 if they want to win.
And this is when they were down 0-2. And what did they do?
They went small.
They put him at the 5.
Yeah. That
was one of the adjustments that I called. They did. And what does Phoenix do? They still keep DeAndre Ayton on him. That's what Giannis is. He's a fucking center, and he played like it.
Yeah.
A little bit of ball handling, a little bit of, and that's what he is, bro.
He. But also too, like, the difference also too. What when you were talking about like veteranship, is like the Bucks go as Giannis goes. Like, he is the battery to that lightsaber. You know what I'm saying? But he is the battery. Whereas in Phoenix, they had stars, but they didn't have that charge of.
They were too small.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to. They were too small.
Because those games were close. I mean, they were super close.
Well, Game 3 was a blowout.
20 points.
Yeah, Game 4 was a little bit close. 5 and 6, you know, they were closer. But
most of those games like came down to the fourth quarter.
And remember, he came into that series hurt. Like, is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? It's just he's one of those. He earned my respect in terms of like
the warrior in him.
Like, I know you can't do this shit, bro. Like, I know you can't do it. But you're going to tell me, you're not even going to tell me anything. You're going to be like, all right, I'm still going to try hard as fuck. Even though you tell me I can't do this, I'm still going to try. As for other players, they don't.
Right. That's like me not knowing how to edit sound yet, but I'm still trying to learn it.
Right.
Right. And it's like, it could be better. It's not there yet, but it was better than the last week. You know what I mean? Like
Lamar Jackson. Like, you still run, bro. Like, at some point, you need to throw from the fucking pocket.
Right.
Like, you need to throw from the pocket consistently. Like, stop running. Throw a receiver wide open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a good topic. This is a good topic. This is a good one. Like Cam Newton, at some point, like, bro, like, come on, like
Stop throwing off your back foot. Like,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop
like
it.
there's no improvement.
Yeah,
year in, year out.
And like Giannis, all right, I'm gonna stop June jumpers. I'm gonna fuck. He still has the same old spin move. I can see it. He has a spin move. Okay, fine. I know it's fucking coming. The Suns should know it's coming, but they still can't stop you. But at least you're going to the hole. And whereas a smart team would build a fucking wall, the Suns aren't smart. But at least you're not just settling for jumpers.
Right. And
Props to Giannis. We still recording right there, right? You see that red?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's still good. One thing I do want to mention about Giannis, though, like, speaking of Giannis, like, after the game, how he just embraced it, like, sat down and just embraced it, that just showed his, like, it was a weight off his shoulders, but then when he hugs his coach and he's like, let's do it again next year. Like, he was already, all right, I like this feeling, and I wanted to, that was like that whole Kobe mentality, you know, that Mamba mentality of like, okay, I reached this pinnacle, but now I want more. Mm-hmm. I want some more.
What I definitely like is that he did it without a super team.
That's your typical take.
You guys ready to talk about the super team?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Wow. So, Russell Westbrook, as of today, has been traded to the Lakers for second round picks in 2024 and in 2028. And the Lakers finally got rid of Kyle Kuzma. They gave
KCP, Montrezl Harrell, and the
number
22nd
22
pick.
overall pick. So, what's y'all feelings about it, man?
So you said you liked it, right?
No, I said it's not a bad pickup.
Okay, I'm loving this. For all the bronzexuals, I'm loving this because I'm gonna call them not the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm gonna call them the Los Angeles No Spacers. Who's gonna shoot? How's the spacing gonna be like? We know they're gonna sag off of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to build a fast
Paced.
like a fast like to the rim type of team.
Like a fast break team.
With not necessarily a fast break team. I'm talking like everything to the rim type team with Russell Westbrook, everything to the rim. We know LeBron James, everything to the rim. Anthony Davis, he's he can shoot it from outside, but everything to the rim. And then you got the little guard, the German. The hell's his name? If they bring him back, Schroeder, everything to the rim.
Yeah, like who are you gonna rely on?
Who's under contract on the Lakers for next year? Check that out.
Well, and you never know. I mean, this isn't. So like now with the acquire of Russell Westbrook, is that
Wilson?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Wilson.
Russell Wilson got traded to the Lakers. What?
Russell Westbrook. Now with that acquired by the Lakers, is that just a total like okay, we're not gonna pursue a Damian Lillard?
But yeah, no, that's it.
Because they have nothing else really. You'd have to like give up an AD or one of those types of players, right?
That's 22-23.
That's cap holds.
Oh well, so like
No, like why did that drop down 22-23?
Yeah.
But anyways, go ahead.
so you're not even thinking of
Up. The
no,
drop
no,
down
go down.
right there.
Don't worry, people. Like he's gonna get used to this.
Yeah. Update. Hit update.
He's still training. he's on a 60-day parole.
Yeah.
All right, and
Here at TSR Media, we like to throw you in the fire. How's that for a promo?
All right, so we got LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Keep scrolling a little bit more down. So, here we go. Schroeder, they've got his bird rights. Looks like he's a free agent. Alex Caruso, go down.
Marcus Gasol. Oh, that's it.
These are all free agents. Well, some of them. All right, they basically got nobody.
Yeah, they ain't. That's it. That's it. Like you're literally gonna go off. All they can do is acquire like bench guys. So it's literally them three. So you have no one really that's gonna shoot from the outside. I don't know if they're just gonna be. It seems like they're just gonna try and be like bully ball. Literally, like, just impose their will on people. If you really think about it.
Yeah, I'm loving this, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
because
loving this.
they are not gonna. If they go up against like
Nets.
a healthy Warriors, a healthy Nets, even to an extent, like a nice Celtics team. Like who in the West can really beat the Lakers? The Clippers? The Warriors?
So I have an issue kind of with this trade. When LeBron went to LA, one of the first things he said was
I text you.
Okay, I'm trying to help with doing the communication through there.
Yeah, but there's no way for me to communicate with you. So that's why I text you. You
I
should
didn't
have your
see-
phone.
I didn't
You should
s-
have your phone like available.
It's right here.
Like
saw
I
it.
said, people, we're on like a 60-day parole right here.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, what
That's
I don't
cool.
like
You're doing good. You're doing
is
good.
when he
You're doing
shows up,
amazing.
he says, I could build with these pieces. I can build with these guys around me. Speaking about Lonzo Ball, B.I., talking about Kyle Kuzma. And then he just trades them all away for stars. I got some issues with that. And now, what's going to be the excuse next year when he doesn't win? Well, we don't got no depth. What are we supposed to do when we come out of the game? Like that, it's always an excuse. It seems with this guy.
So we're gung ho on LeBron is making a lot of these decisions.
I feel like he is.
It's not like Aaron Rodgers where he doesn't get an input.
Who's Westbrook under contract with? Who's his agent? I mean, who's Russell Westbrook's agent? Because I read somewhere online that LeBron is specifically bringing people that are part of his agency. That
I
he
don't think he's
owns.
part of Clutch.
You don't think he's part of Clutch?
I don't think he's part of Clutch.
Okay. There's a
Oh, if only there was a stat guy here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of thought you guys might know that off the top of your
no.
head.
I don't think he is.
Off the top, the only Hector knows off the top is lightsabers.
Yeah, and being a little spoon at times, you know.
Hello, what?
A little spoon at times. You know?
Okay. Hey, but while he's looking that up, we can't just have dead silence.
No. Like that voucher.
Yeah,
That-
So
that's
he's not
Seltzer.
with Clutch.
no.
Okay, so never mind.
No.
But still, I don't like the idea of trading away your depth for star players. Because then what happens if AD goes down for a season? How are you going to replace him? How are you going to replace
Well,
him?
and that's kind of what.
AD always gets hurt.
Yeah.
They call him street clothes.
Yeah, that's the.
So not
the,
if, but when.
The thing is like that's what happened with the Lakers this past year, and Westbrook doesn't necessarily get hurt a lot of the time, but then now you're just kind of putting them back in an OKC position.
No.
Once KD and Harden left, it was all on him.
Right, but it ain't going to be all on him.
I'm saying
Can
if
you, like, turn around to the right when you
I'm
call?
sorry, it caught me out of nowhere. What I'm saying is like if an AD or LeBron goes out like last year, because like this was different with LeBron. Like he suffered a lot of injuries that really did take him out. that we haven't really seen in his career.
Okay.
So we'll see what it does.
All right, what you got for us?
Football's coming around the corner, bro.
So, yeah, football's coming around the corner, and I'd like to speak out about this.
Yeah, you bring the topics to us.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Aaron Rodgers speaks out at a press conference, admits he was considering retirement from the NFL if the Packers did not budge and start catering to him a little bit more. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, at this point, Aaron Rodgers could do whatever he wants. He earned that.
As NFL MVP from last season, you do what you want. I don't care what you say.
So you guys
I remember that. I'll remember that.
No,
Remember
you guys want him to have input and say in the organization.
To a degree.
I towards his
Things that specifically
towards
affect
his
him.
unit.
Yes. So
Towards his unit.
Are you going to trust some?
Like on the offensive side.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
towards his unit.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
let the fans know on where you guys stand, because there's a very thin line that we're crossing right here.
Input is kind of a broad statement.
Right.
Yeah, like Aaron Rodgers, like
Like if
first
you
of all,
like a receiver, don't trade him away type shit.
Exactly. That's exactly what the quote was.
I like this receiver. Why don't you think about, hey, let's get him?
An example was.
But you're not the you're not
I wrote up, but
you're not the decision maker at the end of the day.
yeah, you're
Input
not
is
the final say.
He's not
input
like
is
LeBron
appreciated.
James trading people away for, what he wants to do is say, hey, if you're going to cut Kumaro, talk to me first.
Did they cut him?
They cut Kumaro in training camp. And he said that's the second best wide receiver on our team. And you just cut him. And that's his issue.
Was this last year?
Yeah. Might not have been Kumaro. It was someone else, someone with a C.
Well, and a lot of that has been happening since the Jordy Nelson era.
Yeah.
When they traded away Jordan Nelson, and then they traded away a Randall Cobb, and it's like I can see him wanting input as far as like, look, I have chemistry with these guys, I'm comfortable with these guys, and I totally agree, because at the end of the day, don't make him try to build chemistry with people that he doesn't have chemistry with. And why are you trying to make it so hard on him when he already has a couple guys around him that he's like, we can make it happen with these guys. Like, we don't need your typical... What? So funny.
Keep going. Just keep going.
But what's so funny?
I'm looking at that tape in between your glasses.
Oh, yeah, blood. The new glasses come in on the 7th. These broke, but I've had these for 4 years. So, I mean, they were worth it. You know what I mean? But I got 2 new pairs this time.
How'd they break?
A long time ago, bro. It was actually during a softball game. I dove for a ball, and like the wire broke out, and I played the rest of the game with one lens. Let's just say, it wasn't a good game for me. You know what I'm saying? But then ever since then, the wire keeps breaking.
I found the quote specifically about what he's talking about, Rodgers, in terms of what kind of input he wants.
Okay.
He said, if you're going to cut a guy who was our second best wide receiver in training camp last year, maybe run it by me. So when we say input, that's all he's asking for. If you're going to cut a Jordy Nelson, if you're going to cut a Randall Cobb, maybe run it by the guy. Maybe he might be able to say, well, no, he's still got things left. He's still got a little bit of juice in the tank. Maybe he might be willing to restructure, because it's kind of been known throughout the NFL that they just kind of like let people go, and they're like, no, I'll take a pay cut to come back. They're like, we're good, homie.
Yeah.
We're good. There's no charge left in that lightsaber.
And I think that's all he was asking for is like, let me know my opinion. Now on the business side, if it doesn't work out, okay, I'm okay with that. But from on the field side, this is who I want. This is who I'm comfortable with, and we can make it happen. But if it doesn't work from a contractual standpoint or a business standpoint, then okay, it is what it is. Like, I can't tell y'all how to spend your money. But one thing that he also said was like, hey, this isn't like a tourist town. Like, people that come here, they come during football season. They come to see the Green Bay Packers. They come to see me. You know what I mean? And
He's a little bit of he's got a big head.
oh, he's had that though. That was kind of like,
But now he's speaking out, and he's being forced to speak out because all right, I'm a human. At some point, I'm gonna reach a boiling point.
Yeah.
You see the sign that says, "Take off your shoes when you come inside the house," right? And then nobody does that, right? A week goes by, nobody does that. Finally, a month goes by. It's like, all right, fuck. Like, I'm gonna speak out.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you not see the sign?
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, wash your fucking hands too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody has a boiling point.
Yeah, and at that point, like, hey, bro, like,
and if you think about it, he's been holding it in for a long time. Like we're talking years. And I think that was.
I think it all stems from the Jordy Nelson.
That's where it started. That's where it started. He felt that, but then at that time it was a little easier pill for him to swallow because he still had like a Randall Cobb, and he was like, all right, it is what it is. And then I mean, he kind of had to be a realist too, though, because Jordy Nelson at that time he had a major knee injury, and he wasn't the same Jordy Nelson he was before.
But you know, they've never drafted since he was drafted. Take Jordan Love out of the equation. I don't think they've ever drafted some sort of receiver.
No.
Maybe I think they've drafted offensive line help for him, but I don't think they've ever drafted a receiver for him.
Well, that was the whole knock on him during the 2 years ago that they drafted Jordan Love. That's why a lot of Packers fans and from rumblings in the media, why Rodgers was so pissed, because the first you take a quarterback in the first round, and then the rest of your draft, literally like from the third round on, those guys didn't even play on your team. Like you guys had a shitty draft.
What you got for us?
And he just needed a receiver.
3 offensive players since 2010, which was Brian Bulaga, Derek Sherrod, don't really know who that is, and then Jordan Love. So they've drafted 3 offensive players in the first round.
2 tackles. Okay, I'll plot the 2 tackles.
Was this Derek Lee Sherrod any good though?
They don't look like him.
But it doesn't matter if he's good or not. It's the point that they drafted. It's like, hey, I got you food. I don't know how good it is, but at least be thankful I got you food. They just really suck at
drafting because their defense is not like, it's all defense, and they've never had like an outstanding defense.
AJ Hawk was good.
Since Charles Woodson was there.
BJ Raji, Clay Matthews, they were all good. Clinton Dix, he was only there on his rookie contract and he went somewhere else. I believe he's not in the league anymore.
No, he was with the Cowboys last year, ended up getting cut, and I think he was like went to the Redskins, I believe. And he ended last year.
He's a free agent.
Redskins. Yeah, he's a free agent now, but he ended up with the
Washington football team.
And that was weird. Clinton Dix was like nice when he first came in, and then he just kind of fell off. Hella drew with it.
So as you could tell, like they clearly haven't done a lot. And I mean,
Jair Alexander has been the best pick.
Yeah.
Sure. What I was saying though is like you don't necessarily need to draft offensive players in the first round when you got a guy like Rodgers. You just need to draft guys that he likes. So there was a video I saw where they asked him like, "What kind of receiver do you like?" He said, "I like a receiver that catches with his hands, not with his body." They're like, "Well, what does that mean?" So he said, "I know if I throw the ball where his hands should be, he'll catch it. Whereas if a guy catches the ball with his body, I can't put it out here. I got to put it on him."
Yeah, he's got to throw it to the numbers every single time.
So being that he knows what these guys do every day, and so I don't know. I think he should have input on wide receivers, running backs, maybe even O-linemen. I don't know, but too much input could be a bad thing though, as well.
And with
that's why they hire a general manager to do that job in scouts. At the end of the day, he is the head of the snake, and I think he should have input, not final say.
Agreed. So when we say input, it's not like he wants to let's trade this guy for the no.
And that's probably what all he's saying.
Yeah.
Like when they cut that receiver, they never ran it by him.
Yeah. Hey, this is who's on the cut list on the offensive side.
Yeah.
They don't have to explain the whole team to him, because I think that also adds pressure to like a QB though too. Like it doesn't unwanted pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure on him, because it's like, why I don't care about the defense. Not that he doesn't care about the defensive side, but it's like I need guys that I can feel that can protect me, can catch my ball, and can run the ball for him.
Right.
Well, like Tom
Right.
Brady, he got Gronk and he got AB. They
And
won the title.
yeah, and they won a title. And I think to an extent, like, it is. Look, Aaron Rodgers is who he is. I was never like a big fan of him just because of his big head at times. But then now you kind of see where he's coming from. Where I'm like, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed off too. You know what I mean? Like I'd be kind of mad too. Like I won y'all a Super Bowl and now y'all treat me like I deserve some respect in this building. To the point of, like, I know y'all like me, but there's a difference of liking someone and respecting someone.
Yep.
And really, and to the point where it's like, he's our dog, he's our guy, and we need to be upfront with him on certain things that are going to affect him, not only on the field, but like psychologically, from a friendship standpoint, and all those things. And I like what Devontae Adams had to say. He was like, I ain't gonna take no pay cut. Like,
before we talk about Devontae Adams, there is one last thing I would just like to specify. They also cut Rodgers' quarterback coach before the season started and just hired someone new without his knowledge.
When?
Last season. And that the quarterback and the quarterback coach, they have a very interesting relationship. So the quarterback coach will guide the quarterback through everything he's seeing. He knows the quarterback on a very personal level, which is why oftentimes you see quarterback coaches get promoted to OCs because they can see, they know, and they see what the quarterback
because they're
wants.
strictly looking at that. Well, not and not even Devontae Adams. I wanted to talk about the new NFL vaccination policies.
Okay. So is this basically telling you who's a MAGA? That's the way I look at it.
I don't think that far. I think we're kind of like past that.
Okay.
I don't think it's MAGA. I think at this point it's just a choice because I've seen people that aren't like truly MAGAs but just aren't getting the vaccination. Like, you know, that's just, I think it's just a choice at this point. I think early on, like when all this happened, you could say that, but now it's just like, because I've known people that are like, oh yeah, I'm not a MAGA, but I don't trust it. Like that's just my personal choice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the funniest thing that I heard too was like, you have NFL players talking about, oh well, and shout out to Flagrant 2 again. I think it was Akash Singh that said this. He's like, how are these players scared, saying that I'm not taking the vaccination because I'm looking at my health, when your job is to literally get hit in the head for 45 minutes straight, for 60 minutes. Like your job is dangerous. Like that's your health.
Because they're looking at it from two different perspectives.
Right.
Physical health as opposed to internal health. All in here.
Right.
It's all in the. It's all mentals, Biles. It's all mentals. You know what I'm saying? What you got for us, little Joe?
What's your take? Okay, well let's provide a little backstory. Okay, so NFL has come out and said, look, if you're not vaccinated, you got to wear masks inside the facility. Those who are unvaccinated, you don't have to wear it, right? Mm-hmm. And also, if you're unvaccinated and you get COVID, and you start to it starts to affect others in the organization or inside the building, we're going to forfeit games. Mm-hmm. Also, if you get COVID, we're going to fine you for each day that you miss. Game checks, basically. It's kind of a tool of you either get vaccinated or not, and if you don't, but there's a consequence. What's wrong with any of that? Anything in life has a consequence, right? Mm-hmm. Your choices have consequences, right? There's people who still drink and drive. There's people who still drive and text. There's people who make dumb choices on a everyday level that know the consequences, but they choose to do that. I think people are blowing it out of proportion. The NFL is a private entity. It's a business. If you affect my money, we're going to affect your money. Like, this is our rules. If you don't like it, and I think we were having this conversation earlier off air, of who do you think is the best GM in sports?
Best general manager?
I mean, the best commissioner.
Oh, Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell. Can you speak on that real quick?
On like what exactly?
Like, why do you think Roger Goodell is like one of the best?
Well, do you think Roger Goodell's the...
Okay, Roger Goodell. Okay, we were watching the NBA draft, and Joe said, "Do you think Adam Silver is the best commissioner out of the major leagues?"
And you said hell no.
I said no. And I said, you got to look at it from the perspective of a fan, because that's the way I'm looking at it. It's Roger Goodell. Because that player is ran by the owners, not the players. As where in the NBA, it's ran by the fucking players. Good for the players, bad for your product. Who absorbs the product? We, the fans. That's why I think it's a Roger Goodell. He basically works for the owners.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As where Adam Silver supposed to work for the owners, but he's working for the players.
Right.
So that's basically why I said Roger Goodell. And then Rob Manfred, he's a fucking idiot.
Jackass.
He's an idiot. Yeah.
Well, and then I guess what I'm just saying is it's like I think they're it's like a big deal to them, but I'm like, it's not. I think you're blowing it up a little too much. This is just their rules in place. This is the consequences to their rules.
Did you guys hear what Cole Beasley said?
No, I seen that, but
So watch, let me read it to you. So once unvaxxed players get cut, they're losing a dream they've worked their whole lives for over a vaccine that is proven to not keep people from contracting COVID. I'm not anti or pro-vax. I'm pro-choice. What does that mean? I'm pro-choice.
not anti-vax, I'm pro-choice.
Well, what he's saying is you shouldn't force me to do one or the other. What he's trying to say is that you should have the option to. What I think he doesn't quite understand about this whole situation is that when everything is for the brand, they're playing for the brand of the NFL. And at the end of the day, the brand of the NFL is the owners of the 32 teams. So if you're doing something that's going to potentially affect the brand, let's say make less money, potentially ruin the chances to go into the Super Bowl, what have you, you're going to get fined for that. You know, an example is last year. Let's look at all the games that were canceled, postponed because COVID. Like the Steelers didn't get a bye week last year. They played on a Wednesday.
Yeah, the Steelers.
Hold on.
We went 45 minutes into it without saying Steelers. Now he said Steelers.
I mean,
Let him.
I gotta, you know, I need Steeler talk, you know. But I'm just saying, like, they didn't get a bye week last year because of COVID. The Ravens, half their team got COVID like twice last year, and it messed with a lot of the games. So you think about it, how much money could they potentially lose? Because this season, this is fact, they're not going to postpone or reschedule games. They're canceling them. And one of the things that
you could forfeit.
One of the things they
They're
said,
going to forfeit that team if.
yeah, and then the team that they had to cancel the game because of, let's say it's Cowboys versus Raiders. The Raiders get COVID and they have to they have to forfeit the Raiders.
Let me pause you real quick.
Hold on. The Raiders will have to pay forward some amount of money to the other team for the financial loss of losing out on that game. So because the team is going to be losing out on money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let me pause you real quick. Fans lose out on attending the game.
Yeah.
And the team loses out on revenue depending on if they're at home.
Yeah, because you got to think about fans that are traveling too. What if they travel for the game? They went out. You go out to Vegas or Cincinnati to go watch your team, and it gets
Nobody want to go to
canceled.
Cincinnati.
No, but just regular Vegas, whatever, Texas, whatever. You plan a whole trip. You ask for days off now, and it gets canceled, and it's like, okay, well, now I gotta like replan this whole thing. And it all comes down to once you affect the bottom line, which is green, things are gonna change.
So where are you standing with this then? You saying that the players should get vaccinated?
No, it's their choice. It's their choice, but don't complain about the consequences to your choice.
And that's kind of what they're saying. The players are saying, well, you're making it impossible for us not to have it. That's kind of the point. They don't want their bottom line money affected. So, yeah, you have
Both
the
sides don't want
it
their
all
money
stems.
affected.
It all stems from. Let's start from the top.
That's what I'm saying. The team,
So no.
NFL.
Right.
The shield.
they don't want their money affected, so they have these protocols in place. Are they fair? No. Will it affect their money if you break these protocols? Yes. Will you pay for it? Yes.
You got to
And
think
that's the
about it.
bottom
So
line.
hold on. This is
real quick. How shitty was it last year when they kept postponing shit? It was kind of shitty.
I didn't mind watching a fucking game on a Wednesday.
No, which is
Did you
cool,
watch
but-
that game though? That
What?
was the worst game in the NFL history.
What, the Steelers against the
Ravens? It was the Thanksgiving game that got postponed to a Wednesday.
No. The one I watched was Steelers against the Redskins football team. I had COVID. I remember watching that game.
I mean, playoffs.
Motherfuckers.
What?
Nah, it was just funny.
So,
Like,
where were y'all going with it?
So I mean, I don't know if I'm support it. I don't know if I support it or I'm against it. I don't really have an opinion on that. What I'm saying is that's the bottom line: is if you affect the pocketbooks of the NFL, the owners, you're gonna pay for it.
yeah,
If, this was the NBA, how would they have handled it?
Huh?
Very player driven, right?
How did the NBA handle it? They
Oh
have to get
yeah, it would have
vaccines?
been like, hey, it's choice, but if we do have a COVID outbreak, we're okay postponing games. We can always restructure, reschedule, all this stuff. That's what the NBA is gonna do. But what I'm saying is, if you open a bar, your job is to just make money off that bar. If people are gonna drink and drive and they get pulled over, you're not paying for that DUI and the lawyer and the court fees and all that. That was your choice, bro. Like, I'm just providing you a service. But if you want to come back at me at that point to try to affect, my bar, my business and all that, well, now I'm gonna release some shit. It's like leave your keys here type of deal. Like, it's your choice. You can leave your keys here or call an Uber or whatever, but it's not going to come back to me. I'm not going to let you affect my business. That's all it comes down to. And that's what I'm saying is like, okay, I understand what the NFL players are saying, but at the end of the day, you still have a choice. They're not saying go get vaccinated. This is just, we're trying to take some protocols in place so we don't fuck up everybody's money. And that's you included.
But you guys are missing the point. Here's the deal. The NFL is making out the vaccine to be, this is a fix. And the players are saying, all right, you're going to do X, Y, and Z on some shit that isn't even proven.
I think, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes and no.
Like,
I don't think it's a fix, but it look, when we're talking about corporations like that,
I'm just saying, I understand the mega side of things. Stop touching my Dr. Pepper. I don't know what your dirty ass hands, man.
Get your warm hands off
I
my
showered
cool.
before I came. Blood, I even cut my nails.
Bruh, I saw you
He's-
scratching your nuts
His sparked a
When?
lightsaber and
I
everything.
didn't
over
scratch
there.
my nuts the whole
pulling
time.
an ant. You was pulling an ant.
I did not scratch
Maybe
my
it was
nuts
a
the
right
whole
hand.
time.
No, you dug in there and yeah.
When
When we was
I did
out
a
there.
shimmy, and I pulled my
No, when we was
underwear.
out there when we was eating sunflower
No,
seeds.
I think
I
the-
did not. I
The
didn't.
bigger question here is why are you keeping track of how many times he?
Nah, bro. Did I scratch my balls? I did not. I am standing true that I did not scratch my balls.
Okay, can
I
I
don't
finish?
keep track of how
Can
many
I
times
finish?
people
I
scratch
may
their
be-
balls.
I don't know if you scratched your nuts or if you fingered your asshole. I just know that your hand was shoved inside
That's
your
a lie.
pants.
That's a lie because I never, even if I did scratch my balls or my ass, with these types of pants, I'm doing it through the pockets.
Bruh.
I did not put my hand inside
I
my
swear-
pants.
I swear-
Nah, bruh. I can't have
Hey,
you lying on
hey.
TV.
Hey,
Can I
Show like
finish?
that,
Can-
yeah.
Can I finish?
here's the only
Yeah.
way we're gonna get to the bottom of this. You gotta smell his fingers and you gotta smell his nuts, and if they smell the same, then you know.
You smell like-
No, I ain't smelling it.
No, you gotta get down to it.
You can't just be dropping accusations like that.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Okay.
You said this guy-
I will smell your hands, but I'm not coming close to the lightsaber.
Hey, you might need a charge. Just give it a flick.
What do you do though? Like if you are like, well, let me get a smell. Let me get a smell. And just like it just starts popping up. Like, what do you do in that situation?
Do that sound again? That sounds like a Star Wars sound effect.
It does.
Okay. Now, can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
We was out there. It was still day. You went like this. You went like that.
There's no fucking way.
I swear to
There's
God.
no fucking way.
I swear to God.
There's no fucking way that I went in there. The whole time, I have not scratched my balls, bro.
I don't know
And
if
I
you
don't
scratched.
know,
The
but
thing
I
is-
didn't. But what I'm saying is, look, for the camera, if I'm gonna adjust or scratch my balls, I got enough leeway in my pockets. You see what I'm saying?
You keep
I
saying-
I know I did not do this.
You did.
No, I did not. I know for a fact I didn't do that. I
you did.
I might have
Yeah, you
adjusted
did.
some underwear.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I'm saying? Did a shimmy, but I know for
No,
a
you
fact,
did.
Nah,
You did.
Bro.
You
Nah,
did.
you're lying on me. I did not.
Why would I lie, bro?
Bruh, there's no way that I did that. I know myself.
Why would you keep
I don't
track of
even
how
do
many
that
times he did that to his
like
nuts?
when I scratch my
You're
balls.
lying.
If I were to scratch my balls, I always go through my pockets. Or it's
You
a
keep
pincher
going
roll.
to. Okay, maybe you didn't scratch your balls. I don't know what you did.
But I
The
never-
fact is that your hand went down your fucking lightsaber.
There's no way though. The only time I do that if I'm tucking a shirt in.
I don't know what the fuck you was doing. I
There's
just
no
know that
way.
your hand
I
went down
don't
there.
believe it. Let's check the cameras. I don't believe it. Check the cameras.
Oh, it doesn't record. Damn.
Next time, record it. Cause there's no way.
Oh, that would have been hella good to like. Yeah, I told you so.
Yeah, and I would have. I just do not. I don't do that.
You don't
I do
scratch your
not go
balls?
inside. I'm very subtle if I scratch my ass or my balls. I'm very.
You keep
subtle.
going to scratch.
But what I'm
Maybe
saying
you
is-
adjusted your
but even-
underwear.
but
Maybe you
even if
adjusted
I
your
adjusted
pants.
My underwear. You see me adjust it 3 times since we've been on the show.
So you did it out there.
But there's no. But you see
All right,
me.
bro.
how
Just
I
drop it.
adjust.
I know what I saw.
This has been the most riveting debate that I've heard since Michael versus Jordan. Did
There's
Brady
no
cheat or
way
not?
that
Like,
I did.
this is riveting.
That's just not me, Joe. Like I don't.
Hey,
even if I
hey.
adjust my underwear, there's no way I do this.
If you're scratching
Like
your balls, I don't
I
care.
always, if I adjust my underwear, blood, look, I go like.
If you're touching sabers,
Maybe
I mean,
look. I
do
will
you,
give you
man.
this. Maybe it looked like my hand was inside my pants, but it was probably in my pocket. I'll give you that. But there's no way. I don't even do that when I'm at home. I do not go in there.
I'm telling you, bro.
Nah, bro. I
Dude.
don't believe you.
You did.
Anyways,
I don't know. Y'all saying
what-
some such things.
So are you back on track? Let's bring it back. So what do we feel of? Are you okay? Let me ask this question: are you guys mad about the rules that the NFL has made?
If it prevents a disaster like last season, then no, I'm not upset about it.
Well, let me ask you like this: have y'all gotten vaccinated?
That is none of your business.
Yeah, that's hip hop, bro.
Is it?
No, it's just none. It's for me personally. Like if I were to get it, or if I weren't to get it, I don't want people knowing that. You know. And
I'll be honest. I'm not.
okay.
But you said that's none of your business in terms of like that is really like
It should be my
here.
business.
Like you took it very personal.
I mean, I take a lot of things personal. You know, Rogers dates Shailene Woodley, and hey, I hate the guy. You know, I take a lot
But
of
okay,
things
but
personal.
here's where I'm going with it. If you guys were in that situation, are you guys taking it? That's where I'm going with it.
Well, yeah. It's
Because I haven't taken it.
nah. Well, I'm in that same situation. If you really think about it, like a lot of jobs now are saying, like, look, if you get COVID, you still got to quarantine, but we're not gonna pay you those 2 weeks like we did the first go around.
It's also
it's
no
the
longer
same
2
thing.
weeks,
It's the same thing. It's okay. It's like it's not even 2 weeks anymore. It's like
8 days.
8 days. So it's like a week. Whereas before they would be like, okay, your first week we'll give you a full 40, Next week we'll give you like 80%, which was cool. You know what I mean? But I'm still facing that too. If I get COVID and I got to quarantine for a whole week, I don't get paid. But I'm making that choice. I'm not like going to my business like, y'all need to pay me if I get COVID. And they're like, well, like if you get it and you're, like that's the thing is like if you get it and you're vaccinated, it's just like, oh, okay, well, we understand. Like just take it.
But there's people getting it and are still vaccinated.
That's what I'm saying is, and I think that's kind of their thing is like they'll work with you at that point. But if you're not even like taking that step that they want you to take in order for
and
to not come to that circumstance,
and you got to look at it. Why aren't these people getting vaccinated? You personally, people that you know that aren't vaccinated and are giving you a reason why they aren't vaccinated. What are some of those reasons?
Well, let me just discredit myself from that debate because all the people that I know, not including you guys, specifically I'm talking like family members that don't have it, are the kind of people it's like, well, I'll do my own research. And then they go and find a very biased news website that'll...
Fox News.
I'm not throwing names out there. I'm just saying they won't... There's no peer review study. There's no like sources. Like they're not crediting any sources. But they're going on and saying, I did my research and this is what I found. It's like, well, what did you research? You got someone else's data. I don't question the data. I question the person who got the data.
Yeah, he's vaccinated.
right? What?
I'm not going to say if I am or I'm not. But what I was saying is that there's a funny joke where the people have where it's like...
He's vaxxed.
Where they're like...
Is it Moderna or Pfizer?
No, did you hear that joke?
He's all, nah, I got the Johnson & Johnson.
No. There's a funny joke out there where the guy's like, you have girls walking up like, Moderna, Pfizer. What about you? Johnson.
Yeah.
That's what I think is funny about this whole thing is that's kind of how it is.
Johnson.
Yeah, that's why you don't want to say
No, I don't give a shit if you are or not.
No, but
But we're gonna go
thing.
around here. I'm freely to discuss why I'm not vaccinated.
My thing is if I had it or if I didn't have it, I wouldn't want that out there on the internet.
And that's cool. It's like
That's
erectile dysfunction.
Like I'll tell you guys if I am or if I'm not.
Some people are cool with
this.
like saying like, "Hey, look,
Sometimes the lightsaber don't spark.
you know, I'm 38 and it don't work like it used to. You know what I mean? Some people are like, why don't you? Let's just try it and see if it works.
What's that code for Blue Chew again?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, you know, there's other things in place where I don't have to let you know. You know, there's
Can we ship
Viagra,
that to your mom's house?
Yeah.
The Blue Chew.
Jesus.
But like for me, it's not even like a crazy reason. Number one, my decision or choice to not do it is completely non-political, at all. Like,
But a lot of them are.
Okay, a lot of them. But I'm saying on my stance, I'm completely non-political when it comes to it. For me, it's like, okay, I date back to like when I was 10 and I got a flu shot, and that was the sickest I've ever been. Like 2.5 months straight, I was sick, dude. Strep, fucking, I was like temperature and everything, right? Ever since then, I never got a flu shot, and I've been good. So it's like I'm taking that risk. Like I don't even get a flu shot every year. So it's like, who am I to be like, well, I don't get a flu shot, but like, give me the vaccine. Like, to me, it's just a choice of like, well, let's ride this shit out. Right. You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay.
until worst comes to worst, and I need to have it. Like, my choice is just not to get it right now.
Okay, so to answer the question I kind of asked y'all is, there's a lot of people that don't get it that are right wing and are basically like downplay the COVID. It's just the flu. Why would I want to get that vaccine? It could do X, Y, and Z to you. And then there's the other side that are skeptical, not necessarily right wings. They're skeptical of like, oh, they're gonna track me or
A conspiracy theorist.
yeah, the conspiracy theorists are like, what's really going in your body? Like, you know, very, very Facebook post information getting
Right.
TikTok-ish. Like,
Yeah, because there's that like question of like, well, HIV hasn't had a vaccine in 30 years, and now all of a sudden COVID-19 pops out of nowhere. And we
Yeah.
get a vaccine in 8 months. Like,
yeah, and
like,
then there's me kind of where it's like, Then there's me kind of like, I don't really get the fucking flu. Like, I don't really get sick, and I don't really like going to the hospital. Like, you know, I'm essentially I'm very healthy for the most part.
Well, yeah, and it's not.
And so like it's like this shit ain't going like that's I'm gonna continue to live my life. And on top of that, I already got it, so I feel like I'm immune. My immune system is stronger against it.
Yeah, right. And I think that's, I think that falls into play because you have some people that are also non-political, but they travel a lot, like for work.
But I think most of them are from the first two things I said.
Right, but
NFL players.
But I also know people that got it because of traveling purposes. Like they had to have it to go travel, and some people make their money traveling. You know what I mean? Like, and so for them it was like, well, look, I didn't get it. I might not do it, but this is what pays my bills. Right. And I can't be doing everything on Zoom anymore.
And so this is where I'm gonna pose the question to y'all. If your job comes up to you and says, "Hey, to continue working here, you need to get vaccinated," what is your response?
I mean, how good is the job?
If I'm in the NFL and I'm making the money that they're making, I'm getting it.
Yeah, bro. Like
if I'm making $16 an hour or however much this make, it's $15 an hour here, working for Target, and they say it's a requirement, I'm probably going to be looking for something else. If I'm making thousands of dollars, and I'm not trying to, I hate the people that always say, you play a game, just do it. I hate those people when they talk about professional athletes. But you got to understand too, man, it's like, not only does your job provide revenue for a whole city, but you also provide entertainment for people that are around the country as well, you know?
We got to wrap it up. That thing's going to die.
Yeah, bro, we're at a minute and 12, or an hour and 12.
Okay.
No, and I okay, just to answer your question real quick. You didn't put the big battery on there?
Doesn't matter. Just go.
Anyways,
just go.
For me, I think, like how he said, it just depends on the job. It depends on the pay.
Yeah.
If I'm at a pizza, if I'm working at Pizza Hut, and they're like, "Hey, bro, like if you want to keep your job," then
Okay, that's enough.
All right,
Anyways.
Well, I was just answering your question.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, obviously, if we're working at
Only
Pizza Hut,
judge me off my work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, he said, if I'm working at Pizza Hut, I'll just go to Domino's.
I mean, hey, real quick though, I work during the shutdown.
Hey, Dion, y'all hiring?
No. Domino's is where it's at, man. I worked there when COVID first happened, my work shut down. I was doing pizza in the ghetto for a while there. Domino's is legit. They got good pizza, free food every night. That's why I got so big.
I'm more of a Pizza Hut than Domino's. Anyways, final thoughts on Space Jam?
So, I mean, obviously the first one takes place, Michael Jordan plays against some aliens. Space Jam 2 is called Space Jam. It doesn't take place in space. What are we doing?
Okay.
Do they go to outer space?
Real quick. I think my final thoughts on Space Jam is number one, I think I'm too old and it just shut off. Sorry, buddy.
Well, he got his taken.
Yeah, he got his taken. I think we're just a little older now, and I think when from a kid's perspective, they like my kids liked it. It was cool for them. It was cool to see. I didn't really like. For me, I was like, bro, they did not top the first one at all. The first one's even to this day is way better.
Well, even I won't look at it from an adult, and I won't even look at it from a kid.
Just as a movie.
Actually, I shouldn't say it like that. I'll look at it from an adult and from a kid perspective.
I don't think it was good in either perspective.
What I'm saying is, we got a shot of the Goon Squad, which was the NBA players, for 10 seconds. Everything else was CGI.
Characters, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's hella trash.
That
right
was
there.
corny as fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
The whole movie's CGI, but when it showed the villains, the Goon Squad, behind them you could see all the villains from WB. You saw the White Walkers from Game of Thrones.
that was cool.
It was cool, but did you see how terrible those costumes were?
Yeah, the mask did not look like the mask, and you had. I don't know. I mean,
But no, it was pretty like LeBron James is not a good actor, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we okay.
We're not gonna.
I wasn't gonna judge him on his acting skills.
Right. But anywho,
You guys keep talking.
You know, I think it was just too much hype for what it was, and not everybody's gonna like it. There's people that like it.
I did like the Looney Tunes though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I liked
The Notorious P.I.G.
Yeah,
Yo, the scene when Sylvester brings in Michael B. Jordan
Oh my
and
God,
Daffy
dude, that
Duck's
was so
riding on. He's like,
funny.
"Oh, that's a great strategy," and he's writing down. It literally just says "Trade Sylvester" because he brought in Michael B. Jordan and not the real Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Bro, that had me laughing my ass off.
Yeah, the Loonies were a bit more like mature in this one, where it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I know like the whatchamacallit, the director of the first one was kind of bagging on this one because he was like saying, look, at that time Michael Jordan wasn't the best basketball player on the court. He was a celebrity. And we tied what I really liked about the first one, that it did tie a lot of the personal of Michael Jordan, and it also tied in the players from a personal level too. Like showed them at the games and when they were taking all their powers and all that. To me, it was like all CGI in this one, and that's what kind of killed it. You didn't really like. Okay, his son got like sucked up or whatever, but it was never like you never saw the buildup of what LeBron James, how he became to be LeBron James, whereas in Michael Jordan you did. Mm-hmm. And then also had the little transition of him going to baseball and and all those things. So I don't know. I liked it, but I didn't. Yeah, like I really wish that the NBA players that were in there, like the Anthony Davis and Damian Lillard and all those, I would have wished them to be more in the movie as their persons as opposed to their character.
I also didn't like that it was like a video game. It's like it was just weird. It didn't feel
Yeah,
like
like
they
the
were playing
points,
basketball.
like it was like 1,000, and I was like, all right, bro, like.
And they kind of did that in the first one, where like the score's just going, and it says like error or something like that in the first one because the Monstars were scoring so much. But it was still like, and
But
I mean,
it was basketball.
and I get the Looney Tunes were doing some weird things, like they picked up Pepe Le Pew and he skunked one of the dudes.
Like the CGI was good as far as the Looney Tunes side,
Yeah.
but and then bruh, like the whole plot hole in it. And now I'm getting a little bit too
We're getting too deep.
Look, I don't want to hear say all of a sudden you guys are fucking movie critics. You know that I've always been in movies.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking movie critic to begin with.
It's hard to like
To begin with.
really like show them a movie, like because you're gonna in your head you're like, hey, it's a good movie.
Like the
When is it over?
costumes.
No. Okay, well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, the son is playing against the dad. Like at some point, like, hey, like if you ain't getting along with Hotel Rwanda, like, just let your dad win or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you guys think it was weird that once the Looney Tunes are starting to come back before his son joined their side, he looks at all the tunes and he said, let's step on their necks now. It's like, bro, that's your son. Like, your son's trying to design a video game and you're over here just trying to crush him. It's like, I don't know, it just didn't paint LeBron in a good... And I'm not talking about his acting. Like, he's not an actor. I'm not going to criticize him for how he was. Michael Jordan was terrible in the first one. Like, he wasn't that good. There was a lot of one-liners, but it was just weird. Like, they painted him out to be, like, such a terrible dad. And they're like, well, the message is that he learned to be a good dad. It's like... Space Jam 1 didn't have no message.
Yeah, and like in the first one, it was about Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And it was about him, like, if you lose, you're coming with me for the rest of your life. And he was like...
Moron Mountain, dude.
Yeah, like...
I did like that Damian Lillard entrance.
I didn't even like that.
Daytime?
He just slows down time.
And that song in the background. Anyways, that's it.
a
We
wrap.
gotta wrap it up. Gotta wrap it up.
So...
Anyways,
Thank you guys for joining us for another week and another episode of TSR Show. From my boy Smurf, I'm your boy Heck, and we got Joe right in the background over there. The new edition.
His camera died.
Yeah, his camera died.
I'm here.
We'll be back soon, and make sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you haven't yet. All right, we out here.
We out here. It's rocking like a cut off stocking. I ain't with it if TSR ain't did it.
You know what I'm saying?